Today I'll be talking about episodes 5 through 6 of The Double. The night before Royale's hair ceremony, Lee is delivered some medicine no doubt meant to incapacitate her so she can't go. She pours it out, but it seems that Madame G expected that, using it as a smokescreen so Lee wouldn't expect her actual move. She has her maids drug her while she sleeps. Meanwhile, Sue finally makes some progress with the man they captured at Jeonyu Hall, who reveals the name of a conspirator who works in the Bureau of Salt and Iron, a man named Yang Song. He decides to treat himself for his hard work with a show. He knows Shun and Lee will be at the ceremony the next day, and that will surely be an entertaining performance.
那比看戏有意思多了。
The next morning, the festivities start. Ma and Pa greet guests at the gate, and when Madame Liu arrives, she asks after Jiang Li. I just love how this woman will not stop pressing their noses in how poorly they've treated Jiang Li. Someone needs to tell them. Madame G says regretfully Li wasn't able to make it. She must have been feeling overwhelmed what with the big move and all these new faces. So impolite.
被人遗弃在真女堂10多年呢，哼，别说是礼数了，如今能活着回来就不易了啊，是吧？
Yes, girl, tell them. This is when we cut to Lee, who did not drink the soup and yet somehow just now wakes up hours late with a raging headache. They rush out of bed to start getting ready and hopefully still make it on time. Ma and Pa are still greeting guests, and we meet Madame G's father, Jiang's father-in-law, who it seems only showed up to brag about G's little sister, who was made the emperor's concubine. That sibling jealousy is palpable. Shen Yurong arrives as well with his mom and sister. Having just finished getting ready, Lee rushes to the gate to find it blocked by 2 burly men. Looks like they'll have to find another way to get there. Finally, seemingly the last guest to arrive is Duke Su. No one expected him, and it causes quite a stir. He says hello and is the second person to ask after Jiang Li. After all, he let her use half of his procession once. Shouldn't she be out here to thank him? Ji tries to brush him off as well, but he sends his minion to see if he can find her.
查一查。是。
He comes back to report about the guards at her gate, and Duke Su looks forward to seeing if Lee will manage to get herself here regardless. The auspicious time arrives and Royale is presented. Oh, speaking of jealous siblings. Her hair is brushed and adorned, and she officially becomes a young woman. Everything has gone off without a hitch, and to finish off the ceremony,
放烟花!
It's reported that the fireworks misfired, which is a sad little end for this beautiful ceremony, but hey, still went well. A breeze comes through, sending flower petals tumbling down, much to everyone's delight, and in comes Lee. Not even a glance for her would-be murderers, she walks right up to the front as they whisper between themselves that she must be the ghost of Xue Li come back to kill them. Meanwhile, all smiles, Lee presents her gift to her little sister, and Jiang officially presents her as his second daughter. Check out this random extra who decided the best way to show his surprise would be just to freeze. Everyone is talking about how beautiful and elegant she is, taking all of the shine away from Royale. In fact, Madame Liu brings up how as the older sister, it's a shame that she never had her own hair-raising ceremony. Very loudly, Liu marvels at how her stepmother couldn't spare a moment in the last 10 years to go and see her to make sure she was hitting these pivotal milestones.
10年都没去看过她，哎呀，这江离也太可怜了。
相国嫡女，居然连个祭礼也没有，太过分了。
Liu says this is the perfect opportunity to make it up to her. After all, she is still a teenager, so she can still do the ceremony even if it is a bit late. Liu offers to do it for her.
离儿多谢柳夫人好意，只是离儿还有母亲在堂，不敢受夫人此礼。
哎呦呦，我怎么糊涂了？这江夫人还在吗？是吧？
I love this woman so much. Oh, silly me, I forgot you have a mom because she's never there for you. Ji has no choice but to help her upstage her own daughter, and Lee gets to become an adult. There's a pretty cool set of scenes here juxtaposing what she's going through now with what Jiang Li went through before. As everyone is lavishing their praises, Royale becomes so enraged it looks like she might try to choke her to death right there on stage, but then she passes out. Again, Yue is jealous as hell. Also, these fireworks have excellent comedic timing. The guests are sent off and Royale is sent to recuperate. Instead of being by her side, her fiancé is busy flirting with Lee. What a trash man. Xue Li's mother and sister-in-law are freaking out, but Shun tells them to shut it.
江家已经明确地认下了这个女儿，所以她就是相国嫡女，长得再像，也不过就是巧合。
Just as Xue Li hoped, there was no way for them to interrupt the ceremony with outlandish claims, And now the truth is what it is. They walk out and Lee has an amazing poker face, even saying goodbye to them as they leave. She manages to keep her composure right up until their carriage rolls off, which is right as Duke Soo shows up to ask what she's looking at. He congratulates her on her resourcefulness, using her cousin to distract the men at the gate while she snuck over the wall. He asks her again what her motivations for joining this family are, to which she responds that it's her family.
薛芳菲，二娘子出事了。
Saved by the bell. Roya has woken up and is covered in rashes. It looks like a reaction to sandalwood, which everyone knows she is allergic to. Roya's maid speaks up that she started having a reaction after putting on the earrings Lee gave her. They check them and, yup, they are hollow inside, filled with sandalwood. Lee asks for a chance to prove her innocence, requesting that she be left alone with Royale for a few minutes. I can't imagine any reason I would be leaving my daughter alone with her, but for some reason, Ji agrees, and everyone just stops asking questions about the sandalwood. This was such a weird scene. In private, Lee tells her little sister that she is sorry about stealing her limelight. She really didn't mean to. She also says it must have been tough on her, purposely exposing herself to sandalwood to try and get her in trouble. Lee tells her how all of this is going to play out. No doubt one of the maids hired by Ji will confess that Lee did this on purpose. Ji will play it up and get her in trouble, Royale will act the pitiful little sister, and they will get rid of her. Or so they think, anyway. Lee reveals that this plan will not go as she wants because the earrings she gave her, the earrings they filled with sandalwood, are cheap knockoffs. Their grandma has an eye for this and will know at a glance that these earrings could not have come from the expensive store everyone saw Lee go to. Investigation will begin, and they will find the sandalwood in the room of the very maid Ji hired. Lee is already 5 steps ahead of them. Meanwhile, I can't believe the dad just wants to stand outside.
让他们多说会儿话。
Royale knows she's beat, but wants to know why she didn't just outplay them since she had it all planned out. Lee says it's because she doesn't want to fight with her. She doesn't hate her, and even if they won't be friends, they don't need to be enemies.